Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, several things to discuss. We will go from Marc, Guéhi, João, Cancelo, Manchester United and Ruben, Amorim, Federico, Chiesa, Manchester City and much more. Let's jump into it today. And so guys, big day. I remind you my video delivered here on the channel a few hours ago. Ruben Amorim fired by Manchester United with immediate effect, and now the club working on replacement with a good possibility to go for a caretaker manager from now to the end of the season and then appoint a new permanent manager in the summer. But let's see what Manchester United to do. Sometimes in the market there could be opportunities and they might go for a permanent manager immediately. So let's give Manchester United some time to assess the situation and decide. Meanwhile, on Chelsea side, I told you last night, Rosenior, here we go, is coming for the Blues. Will have the former manager of Strasbourg as their new head coach. The big update of the afternoon, exclusive story, João, Cancelo and Barcelona. When I told you first a few weeks ago here on the channel, many people were not believing that, saying that Cancelo was not a target for Barca. But what happened today is that Barcelona presented an official bid to Al Hilal for João Cancelo. So the negotiation is entering important stages. Yes, because Barca present an official bid for a loan deal valid until the end of the season, covering a small part of the salary of João Cancelo. His salary is very big in Saudi at Al Hilal, and now they are prepared to cover from Barca a small part of the salary. What happened with Cancelo, as I told you here on the channel for weeks, is that Inter have a deal in place verbally with Al Hilal. Inter have agreed to include a defender in the deal, in a swap deal, so one between Stefan de Vrij or Francesco Acerbi to Al Hilal and João Cancelo to Inter. This is the swap prepared between Inter and Al Hilal. But João Cancelo never accepted that solution because he wanted to wait for Barcelona before deciding on Inter. And now, what I can tell you is that Barcelona have officially entered the race. Official bid on the table. Barcelona will be in Saudi these days for the Super Cup, in Middle East these days for the Super Cup. And so the negotiation can take place already there, but Barcelona are now in active talks to sign João Cancelo. So let's see what's going to happen there, but for sure Barcelona are now part of the conversation and in concrete negotiations, and we know the preference of the player is to return to Barca. So that's going to be an important story to follow. More to say, another story from the day, Federico Chiesa. Let's see what's going to happen also with his future. Because for Federico Chiesa, what I can tell you is that Juventus have now arrived to the table to inform people close to the player that they are really interested in a return for Federico Chiesa. So Juve want Chiesa back. That's the story of the day in Italy. Now, this depends on Liverpool, because Federico Chiesa, from my understanding, could be open to rejoining Juventus, but that doesn't mean that Federico Chiesa is breaking his relationship with Liverpool. Federico Chiesa is very respectful with Liverpool, very professional, and so he will leave that into the hands of the club. It's on Liverpool to decide. Chiesa can go, Chiesa can't go. So Juve are really interested, now officially interested in Chiesa. It's on Liverpool to decide whether they want to make it happen or not. So let's see Liverpool position on this. But that's the story at the moment, with Juventus holding a genuine interest in Federico Chiesa. Return, they are looking for a player who can play in the Kenan Yıldız position. So a backup for Kenan Yıldız, a player who can add quality, can be fast with good speed. And so Federico Chiesa is considered the perfect profile for that position. Let's see if Juventus will be able to get the deal done with Liverpool, because at the moment there is still no green light from the Reds. Another story, guys, is on Manchester City. First of all, injury for Gvardiol. I'm told that Gvardiol will be out for a few weeks, and so I think several weeks. And so Manchester City, first of all, have recalled Max Allain, the defender from Watford. The boy was on loan at Watford, doing fantastic. Watford under Javi Gracia have been doing very well in the Championship in the recent weeks, and Max was one of the best players from Watford. Now Man City recalled the player, and so let's see what's going to happen there, because for sure it's going to be a really interesting topic, with Max Allain going back to Manchester City, and so one more talent for Pep Guardiola, already for the first team. But Man City could add one more defender to the squad in this January transfer window. And so what I wanted to tell you is about Marc Guéhi, to confirm the story from the BBC, because Manchester City are really interested in Marc Guéhi as an option for this transfer window in January. So Man City are in the race for January, and Liverpool are also keen on the player, January or summer on a free. But Liverpool remain interested in Marc Guéhi after they had a deal done on deadline day and collapsed because of Igor and Crystal Palace. You probably remember that story from the final hours of the August transfer window. But Liverpool are still keen on Marc Guéhi, I'm told, for January or for summer, so let's keep it open. And for Manchester City, interest for now, January transfer window, to give Pep Guardiola one more defender after the injury of Gvardiol. So keep an eye on Marc Guéhi, and don't forget that for the summer transfer window there are many clubs interested on a potential free deal for the English defender who is going to leave Crystal Palace on a free. So for sure, a big story, a big topic, the future of Marc Guéhi, and we will be following that for sure, because now there is movement for the English defender. And then, guys, the story of the day. We mentioned that about Ruben, Amorim and Manchester United. I wanted to clarify something. This is not similar to what happened with Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca decided to leave Chelsea, and so Enzo Maresca decided to leave his contract. That's different. Ruben Amorim, the decision was made by the club. So Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United, and so Ruben Amorim remains now under contract until 2027 with Manchester United. It means that his salary is still on the accounts of Manchester United, unless there is a club in the next months ready to get Amorim, and so they can negotiate an exit fee for Amorim. But at the moment, Man United will still be paying the salary to Ruben Amorim. It's a club decision, and Ruben Amorim already said yesterday that in his press conference, if you follow that in details, Ruben Amorim went public and said, I will not quit, I'm not leaving this. I'm here, I'm staying, unless the club decide to do something different. And 24 hours later, even less than that, Man United decided to fire the coach. So the Ruben Amorim story is quite clear on that. Then, many questions I'm getting, guys, about the caretaker manager, the interim manager from now to the end of the season. First of all, now there is Darren Fletcher, who will have the opportunity to be on the touchline this week. This midweek, because there is games midweek in England. And then, in terms of candidates, some of you ask me on a rumor coming from England on an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Guys, what I can tell you on this story going around in England is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be more than open about joining and returning to Manchester United as caretaker manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be happy to help Manchester United again if he can. But at the moment, nothing more than this to report on this story. Nothing has been decided, still no name for the future Manchester United caretaker manager, and especially the permanent manager, which is the most important part of the story. So let's follow the situation, but at the moment, would Solskjaer be open to join Manchester United? How not, I would say. Of course he would, from what I heard. But at this stage, it's on Man United to decide, and as of now, they've not decided yet what they want to do next. So, internal conversations taking place to understand what's going to be the following step after Ruben Amorim got fired. And so, guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Cancelo to Marc Guéhi, and then Ruben Amorim, Solskjaer, Federico Chiesa, let him go back to Italy, to Juventus or not, and then Max Allen, Manchester City movements. Guys, your opinion here in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon here with Fabrizio. Ciao.